Hello. Let's go live on YouTube. We're going to be talking about the nervous system. I've got some notes as well. Hello, Instagram. All right, we are live. Let me get up my notes. My screen has just frozen. Amazing. All right. How are we going? Happy Tuesday. I'm about to get on a client call, but I was like, I am feeling ready for a live. So here we are. Let's talk about the nervous system. This is phase 3 of my woman mastering method. I was having conversations around this with my clients, so I thought I would bring it here on YouTube, on Instagram. You can do all. So the woman mastery method, we have 3 phases when we go into it: subconscious programming, identity shifting, and being able to regulate to a brand new capacity. You can do, there's a bit of a glare on that, I'll take those off. You can do all of the reprogramming, the self-concept work, the identity work, but at the end of the day, this is why it's phase 3. If you are not working on your nervous system's capacity to be and receive more, you are always going to feel in this uphill battle. You are always going to feel like you're self-sabotaging the money that you want to make, the success in your career or your business, your relationships, your health, because if your nervous system is in a constricted state, not an expanded, like versus an expanded state, you're always going to feel like it's too much pressure. The analogy that I use with my clients, and I think it's one of the best analogies I come up with, I've said for the longest time, don't get out of your comfort zone. I want you to expand your comfort zone. And when we look at our comfort zone, it's really AKA our nervous system. And I want you to look at your nervous system like a balloon. What happens when you have a balloon and you inflate it? You're inflating. You get to a point with the balloon where you start to freak out because you're like, if I blow any more into this balloon, it's going to pop in my face, right? We've all been there blowing up a balloon and it's like, oh, this is getting scary. So what do we do with that? We start to let out a bit of air, we stop blowing into it, and then the balloon's done. I want you to think of that analogy like our nervous system. And this is exactly what happens when we're trying to expand our nervous system to bring in more opportunities, to bring in more money, to bring in more success, more wealth, whatever it is the moment, if you're not calibrating your nervous system to regulate to a brand new success and get in alignment with your brand new belief system and identity, then what's going to happen is every time you get to the edge of welcoming in something brand new, more money, more relationships, better relationships, anything to do with your health, if you're not regulating, it constricts. And it's like this glass ceiling, and then you self-sabotage, you do anything else, right? This is why I see so many business owners, female entrepreneurs, self-sabotage more money in their business or visibility in their business, because the moment they're about to break through that glass ceiling, something inside of them doesn't feel safe that they can hold that amount of success. Again, whatever your perception of success is, or they're unable to sustain it. That's a big one, a big fear of, can I actually sustain what's happening? And so instead of pushing through the glass ceiling, they constrict. And what this shows us consciously, it's like every time we have momentum, and let me know if you resonate with this, every time you have momentum, then all of a sudden you lose traction. And it's like you're every couple of weeks or every couple of months, you're doing the exact same thing. You're building momentum. Something happens. Maybe you manifest a sickness. Maybe your Instagram or your socials get shut down. Maybe something happens in a relationship or you have a big blow. And then you start to continue this same cycle. That is when you know you have a nervous system problem. Going back to what I said, the woman mastery method is subconscious reprogramming, identity shifting, regulating to a brand new capacity. You can have these 2 down pat, reprogramming your belief system and changing the way you perceive yourself. And they're so important. But again, if you're not training your nervous system to feel safe and to actually go, oh, the brand new beliefs and the brand new way we perceive ourselves is safe to be, you are going to self-sabotage every single day. And when you're calibrating to a new way of being, so it's like being able to blow up that balloon and have the trust, have the faith, right? The icky feeling you get before you're about to do something that's going to change your life is exactly what you need to lean into. You really need to lean into the resistance. Big part of this, I will say, is building your self-trust, because if you don't trust yourself, you're never going to intuitively know if something is for you, right? It's a big part, may sound a bit woo-woo, but it is a big part of making decisions in your life, being able to trust your own decision. And then when you get to the point where it feels a little bit icky, or you feel like, oh, I don't know if this is, unsure, being able to know, is just my fear coming up, or is this actually something I shouldn't be leaning into? Is this actually something I shouldn't be putting my time and energy to? I see this so much with female business owners, which, by the way, we work on this inside Become the CEO 12-week mastermind. There's a couple of days left for enrollment. So on a business front, if you find that you're self-sabotaging the way you make money, you're hitting an income ceiling, you're not getting the visibility you want, you feel like you're waking up every day just like, oh my God, okay, so what am I doing? What's on my to-do list? Come in to Become the CEO, because we teach this across your business and your mindset. You need both of those. You need to marry both of those. If you're not a business owner, highly recommend signing up to the Femme Club self-paced program. It was my signature program for years. Over 200 women have been inside of it, and it will help you with things like this. But overall, it's looking at your responses when if you're like, how do I gauge if I need to work on my nervous system, or how do I know this is a nervous system issue? Every time you're about to change who you are, or do something different, or reach a new milestone, look what happens in your 3D physical reality. Consciously understand what is happening. Maybe you have so much momentum one week in your business. I'll give different examples. Maybe you have so much momentum one week in your business, and then you get to the end of the week and it's like, oh, I haven't made any new sales. And then you get to Monday and you're feeling down about it. And so you don't show up. You're like, oh, well, I haven't made any sales. Like, I can't be bothered. Like, I'll do the bare minimum. And then you get to the end of the week doing the bare minimum and you're like, why haven't I made any sales? Like, this isn't a good thing. And you self-sabotage. Whereas you need to lean into the uncomfortability. You need to learn from what's not happening and do things differently, rather than just defaulting to, it's not working, I'm not getting any more clients, I'm not making any more money. In your health journey, what starts to happen, maybe you start to see results, like your body changes within, let's say, 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks, your body starts changes, and then maybe you feel uncomfortable about the what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe you're getting admiration from different people, or maybe people are commenting on your body in a positive way, and you're not used to. You don't feel worthy of positive affirmations. You don't feel worthy of people complimenting you. And so what would you do? You then have a whole week where you eat really shit, you don't go to the gym, you don't do anything. Your body gets inflamed, you're feeling a bit bloated, you don't look as good. You look in the mirror and go, well, I've been trying so hard. Like, why is my body like this now? I'm not gonna bother. And then you start the cycle again. So this is why all my phases are connected, because to understand your nervous system, you do need to understand what your subconscious programming is, and you do need to understand from that how you're perceiving yourself, how you actually view yourself, because the way you view yourself will change everything. You can have the best belief system, but if at the same time you don't view yourself as someone who can play big, or in business, or in your career, or is worthy of that promotion, or worthy of more money, a bonus at work, then you're always going to adjust to that. See how these three all work hand in hand. And so start to really understand, like, where do you pick up momentum in your life, and then where do you lose it? What is actually scaring you? And get super, super honest with yourself. Something I share with my clients is that when you ask a question, then go a level deeper. And I had this discussion with one of my mastermind clients last night. She asked a question, and I said to her, go a level deeper, go a level deeper, go a level deeper into what you're actually asking and needing advice with. And that helps you get to know yourself better. But it's not so much like, oh, I'm not showing up for my business because no one signed up. Okay, that's the start. I'm giving you a little bit of like what I do with my clients. Okay, so it's like you have momentum, no one signs up, and then you say to yourself, oh, no one's signing up, so I can't be bothered showing up. But what's actually at the root of that? Maybe you feel like you're not worthy of holding more clients, because maybe one time you had a full roster and it stressed you out and you didn't have the management tools that you have now. But your brain is reliving that moment subconsciously, and it's bringing it to the front as, oh, well, you haven't signed anyone, don't stop. I know this can sound like a lot, but we go through this process inside of all my containers. Like I said, definitely if you are a business owner, come in to Become the CEO. We learn to scale consistently to 10K to 30K months, but it's about building a legacy. It's about building a foundation of yourself as a business owner. there's no point in making money and having opportunities and getting invited onto podcasts or, going viral on YouTube if you can't hold yourself as a business owner. And that's why it's called Become the CEO. Like I said, and if you're not a business owner, definitely get into the Femme Club. I think at the moment it's 65% off. And any questions, slide into my DMs on Instagram. But being able to tap in and understand where your nervous system feels sticky is going to give you the world of change. Understand, like, quite literally spend some time with yourself, like go through the best case scenario, like get out a notepad, get out your journal, and go through the best case scenarios of, like, maybe you're making 5K in your business and the next best case is $10,000 in your business, right? Or maybe it's being invited onto 5 podcasts. Write down that best case scenario and then ask yourself, like, what is coming up? If I truly envision, there's going to be excitement and wanting to do it, but then, like, what's on the other side of that? Is a fear of not good enough, fear of failure, fear of not going to be able to sustain it? That's your sticky point of your nervous system. That's, going back to the analogy, that's where you're blowing up the balloon and it gets too scary to blow the balloon and you contract. Every moment you contract, you're bringing yourself back into a place where you've already been. You cannot create different results in your life, business, career, money, or health operating in the same way that you have the day before. This is why self-reflection is key, especially daily self-reflection. If you're showing up in your business or your career and you're not adjusting and you're not going through, like, what worked really well yesterday, what can I lean into? Most people have the bare minimum mindset. The bare minimum mindset is you tick off a list of things you do every single day. That's the bare minimum, and you get a dopamine hit from that, and then you lay in bed at night with anxiety and overwhelm because you think, why is nothing changing? Why am I getting that promotion? Why am I making more sales? Why am I seeing more clients? Why am I attracting men or women that aren't suited for me? Or why do I keep fighting with my partner? Right? We sit there and it's like, I feel like I did everything today. You didn't. You did the bare minimum. The bare minimum mindset. I did a reel about this over on my Instagram, and where I explain it a bit more in depth. But basically, that's what it is. You tick off the things that give you dopamine hit. If every single day you're waking up and you're going for a walk, you're going to the gym, you're posting on your Instagram stories, and you're posting a reel. If you wake up every single day and that's just what you do, and you ask yourself, like, well, I'm doing everything, why am I progressing? It's because of this. It's like these 4 things that I've just left, that's your bare minimum. Write that down, put that to the side. That's just what you do every single day. What's the next layer? What's like, how are you 10xing yourself? Something I've said on my podcast, the Jessica Pinili podcast, since 2018 is 1% of messy inspired action every single day. But that 1% is reflecting on the day before on, like, what can I do a 1% better, 1% deeper. The messy inspired action really embodies, you don't need to lean into the perfectionist side of it, because we know logically nothing is perfect. So there's no point in leaning into that. And so I want you to start to ask yourself, how can I reflect on my day yesterday and do 1% better? Like, truly 1% better, because the compounding effect is real. The 1% rule is something I've lived by my entire business. And there have been days where I could not be bothered. So I just did 1% more. And it looks like this. And then other days I'm feeling really, really good. And so my 1% actually looks like this, and it compounds. And this is, again, how I'm bringing this all together. This is how we teach our nervous system to do more and be more, and to take the leaps, and to feel so safe, welcoming new experiences, welcoming more money. If you keep hitting an income cap in your business, well, you're not getting that bonus. It's because your nervous system doesn't feel safe to receive it. And what I would say will show up, you can receive that, but if you still don't feel safe, you can't hold that, you will manifest a bill, you will manifest your car breaking down, you will manifest, a family member really, really needs the money more than you. This happens time and time again. I see the ups and downs. It's because you're not neutralizing, you're not stabilizing your nervous system. Check in. Like, the biggest thing is to check in with how you are feeling on a day-to-day basis. Health is wealth. Like, how are you actually checking in with yourself? And I don't mean you need to go do a hectic workout or whatever, but, like, yes, you need to be moving your body, but, like, more so, like, are you actually in tune with what you feel inside? Like, are you actually getting up your laptop for your business every single day and you're just like, "Ugh, okay, I'm overwhelmed. Like, I got to do all this stuff." Are you getting to your job, right? We'll do a couple examples. Are you getting to your job, your career, and you're like, oh, same thing every, like, see that? Like, your nervous system probably doesn't feel good. The 1% compound hit me hard. And, that's the true is like the compound effect is real. You were going to wake up and you were going to have really, really bad days. That's just called being a human being. Doing the inner work is not doing this work and thinking, I'm healed, I'm good, I know everything. Absolutely not. Doing the inner work is actually understanding how to lean into what you need on the days that you can't be bothered showing up. On the days you quite literally cannot be bothered working on your business or your career, your side hustle, your health, your money. It's those days where you really, that's the inner work. You're facing your own demons. And to face your own demons, you need to feel so safe within your body. You need to be able to hold more in your nervous system, but it cannot expand. It cannot be more unless you're teaching it how. How can you sit here and say you want more money in your business, but you're not teaching your nervous system to hold more or to have conversations about money or to look or to, pay overdue bills or to be smarter or to be able to give and receive? Like, are you wanting more clients, but every time you go and buy a coffee, you tap your card and you're freaking out over a $5 coffee? How is that teaching your nervous system to want more? In your career, you want this bonus that you've been working so hard towards, but there always seems to be something in the way of getting that bonus. Again, how are you feeling when you are you 11 as I'm saying this, everyone make a wish. But as you're, let's say you're working on client accounts, are you looking at client accounts and being like, oh, it'd be so nice to be rich, like they must be snobby? Like, are you judging people? Why would your nervous system and energetically, why would you hold a bonus? Why would you attract that? You wouldn't. Or you get it and then you lose it straight away. This is why, I know this is a fact for Australia, but I think when you win lotto, the lottery, they offer like counseling sessions, because people who win lotto at that time probably don't have money. And so imagine you've gone from like not having a lot of money to all of a sudden you've just won $10 million. You think someone who's not earning a lot of money to earning $10 million can expand that fast? No, this is why a lot of people who win the lottery lose that money like that. And that's why they offer these counseling sessions, because they don't know how to hold it. They don't know how to feel safe. They don't know how to envision their life. They revert back to old programming of when their parents would get rid of money, or when money was heard to be the root of all evil. So they don't want nothing to do with it. So they just spend, spend, spend. And so, what does everyone want? We want more time, we want more money, we want more energy. These things can come when we are expanding our nervous system, when we are expanding our safetiness to hold that. You need to look at a good thing just before I get on my next client call. A good thing to look at is where you are contradicting yourself. So let's say in your business, you're like, I really want to go viral and attract thousands of followers. Where in the same breath are you making fun of influencers or people with followers? See how you're like contradicting yourself? Because then the your subconscious mind, your identity, and these all work together. And by the way, I have a free two-part training. I go a little bit into this. So if you want that, it's Hack. It should be in the show notes. I know on my Instagram, it's in my link in bio. It's called Hack. It's free. It's two-part. I actually teach you 2 or 3 concepts, I can't remember, that I actually teach my clients. Like, I've taken from their dashboard. So if you want to learn more about this process, 110% go into Hack. But you can't be contradicting yourself. This is where people don't understand. It's like, you can do all the visualizations, you can have the vision boards, you can do the meditations at like till you're blue in the face. But if you want more money, but you're making fun of people who spend money on luxury items, or you're saying that, oh, they're so snobby, look how show off. How can you expect your nervous system to feel safe holding more money? If you want a really good body, but yet you're making fun of people who maybe wear, small midriff or small shorts, and you see them out at the beach or shops, and you're like, oh my God, look, she thinks she's so good. He thinks he's so good, like with that small outfit. But you really want a good body, or like, again, whatever your perception of a good body is. This is just an example before I go. Again, you're contradicting yourself. The nervous system goes, okay, so you're telling me you want your health journey to work, but on the same point, you're making fun of the woman who is wearing that mini dress and saying she's a show off. What do you want? And that's where we subconsciously we start to self sabotage. And we start to do things like, if we go with that example, not showing up to the gym or eating shit or emotionally eating, emotionally spending, and we self sabotage our own progress. And so start to look at where you are contradicting yourself. Um, Start to look at where you're contradicting yourself in life. That's a really good place to start, because then you can understand actually the contradiction is where your nervous system is at. I am going on to a client call now. That went a lot longer than I expected, but I hope you got so much from that. Like I said, free resource hack, show notes below, Instagram, link in bio. Or if you are a female entrepreneur and you are wanting to scale from 10K to 30K months, but you also want to create an impact, you want to create a legacy, you want to wake up and feel like your business is an extension of you, because it's no point in making money unless you're feeling like it's fun, it's inspiring. Become the CEO. That's a 12-week mastermind for you. And from there as well, if you're like, I'm not an entrepreneur, business owner, great, join the Femme Club self-paced program. There's been over 200 women have gotten it. It used to be my signature program. It covers everything you need when it comes to creating clarity and direction in your life, but really helping with your self-sabotage. 65% off at the moment as well. And any questions, of course, come into my DMs, can't talk, come into my DMs, have a conversation with me if you want to see what's the best option for you. But I hope you got so much for this, and I will see you in tomorrow's live. Bye. Bye, Instagram.